The last couple of days have been extremely interesting for crypto. Not because prices have been going insane, but really, it kind of actually depends on which coins we're talking about. There have been a lot of coins that had some crazy shenanigans going on this week. And even though our main coins like XRP, Bitcoin, Solana, ETH, BNB all really didn't do much, I mean, if we're taking a look at them right now, yes, there was a bit of an exciting move due to some earlier macro numbers coming out today, but for the most part, it's a couple of outlier coins that have done really, really well. We've got Mantle and Pump Fund right now doing some crazy numbers, but a little bit earlier throughout the week, we had this coin called 𝗕𝗓. Now, if you're wondering, 𝗕𝗓 had itself some very crazy short squeeze going on. 90 million plus worth of shorts had been liquidated in the last 72 hours, around 45 million in the past 24 hours alone. It likely cascades down in a 50 to 70% candle, but it's not worth the risk worth taking, even if you catch it. Reminiscent of TRB and OM, as basically these two coins went on a crazy, massive squeeze towards the upside that a lot of people tried to short and horribly failed at. Spot supply is mainly controlled by the big BitGet insiders and $bake, another one that is getting squeezed right now on the 17th of September. Delisting News, SLF, and Hi-Fi on the same list. These are just some coins that have been going up ridiculously much that, well, they're a bit too scary to short. I mean, theoretically speaking, you could have been doing pretty good right now as it's down 11%. But the thing is, if they're up hundreds of percent throughout a week and the chart looks like this, you know, you're better off sometimes just not touching it at all. Sure, you may catch it. You may catch the perfect top because it's overvalued and you catch the way all the way down because it's at 16 billion. It shouldn't be there, right? But sometimes shenanigans lasts. I mean, if we're taking a look at the previous examples he did mention, like TRB and OM went from like 10 cents when I was looking at it to like almost $10 in a snap. And indeed, it did come back around. But let's say you were shorting it at like $4. You didn't have a good time once it ran to like 8, right? A lot of shorts got squeezed. After seeing the mix run, people started looking at some other betas like $IP. And each story did do some crazy numbers as well. For some reason, a little bit harder to find in here. Matter of fact, I guess it's at the second page because, I mean, I'm not seeing it here, even though it did some ridiculously crazy numbers. Let's quickly take a look at the second page right here. We got open coming in and no, not even here. So now that I'm taking a deeper look, even though the price performance was crazy, it was actually mostly just one day worth of crazy squeezing that was going on just yesterday, right? So I guess that's why over the week it's not too crazy. There was two coins, Story and M, so meme coin, whatever it's called, meme something, or meme team, whatever, or the teams behind them thought they would be left behind. Binance coins in their own mini altcoins, Broccoli, TST, and BSW. I don't really trade those, so not really too familiar with exactly what they did. At the end of the day, though, we did see Worldcoin, you know, the coin, the AI coin, and actually, it's not necessarily an AI coin, but we just dub it the AI coin. We saw Worldcoin put up some crazy numbers with a lot of AI coins to follow. Worldcoin still today, let's quickly take a look at the weekly performance. It should also be at the top. It is at $1.80 right now as it stands, up 100% or so throughout the week. I also did get myself a bot for Worldcoin when the price was already going crazy. I got in at about $1.54, and still we already cashed out 7% over the past 2 days, and we're up like 30% on it. But this is going to be a very, very risky endeavor. And by the way, if you also want to follow along with my trades and exactly what I'm doing, you can check out the links down below. The bots, all automatic. The trading is done over on Payonix. It's the first link down below. And you can also copy my exact setups and check out all my settings with these links down below as well. Anyway, to get back into it, Worldcoin reached their 8-month high as 𝗕𝗀𝗀𝗃, basically put in a 250 million treasury move, sparking some crazy excitement for the coin. So obviously that's why the coin has been going crazy right now. And it does spark up a good question. I've stated throughout the past couple of days that the easiest way to make money in crypto right now is by following the treasury money. So if you're seeing a company say, hey, we're going to be buying $1 billion worth of SOL, or $1 billion worth of Doge, $2 billion worth of Aptos, whatever, you just follow that money. Why? Because it tends to do really well. Theoretically speaking, it's the freest money out there. Nothing, of course, in this world is completely free. Nothing comes without risk. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm just saying, thus far, every single time these companies had announced they're going to be buying in bulk, the prices have also acted accordingly. And so sometimes it's a question of why change a working system. They're announcing they're going to be buying tons. These are all quite small assets. You know, $2 billion worth of additional buying pressure for SOL is a big deal. It has kept on working every single time. Anyway, 𝗕𝗏𝘀, major Korean exchange, listed the coin as well. 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏 factor. 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏, the fact people were using World, I guess, as a hedge and majority wasn't positioned, rest thanks to momentum. In hindsight, 𝗕𝗪𝗏 was soft shilling it. 𝗓𝗏𝘀 saw the usual wild beta flow along with AI and 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏. Other previously hyped AI coins that are ranging are 𝗕 and Virtual. 𝗕 and Virtual, I mean, I saw some new excitement for 𝗕. Virtual is doing nothing. Some coins that I did see do really well. Aether, I'm holding that one still because I did buy in before, like a long time ago. I've not bought any since though. I just saw it on the second page as well. Let's quickly see how it has been doing. So for the past 24 hours, what's the best one? It is, here we go, Plume, Ronin, Wormhole, Sneck. And over the past week, let's take a little bit of a look at that. We indeed have Aether, Open Ledger, and Plume, 𝗕𝗘. Yeah. 𝗕𝗘 is actually doing better than I expected as well. It's only up 15%. But in a market where almost everything is basically flatlining, that's actually not too bad. Flock, I don't know. I don't even know exactly what it is. I just saw it do well. SPX also garbage. These are meme coins. That's why I'm not covering it. What is more interesting are two ones. So, a matter of fact, three. I think Doge is interesting because they're getting themselves the first Dogecoin ETF. Pretty big deal. I basically have bought into Doge more for that specific reason. Solana has some, like I said earlier, massive announcements going on for the ETF and the fact that they're going to be buying Solana in bulk. Some new announcements came out for that could be their most profitable endeavors ever. So, it just makes sense for Solana to push on that, which it has been doing. And Pump Fund, they basically have a buyback system. Pump Fund is a coin, again, basically meant for this whole meme coin ecosystem, but it's been acting in a non-meme coin ecosystem way. And what I mean with that is if we go back to the main here, for some reason, it didn't load in properly. Here we go. If we take a little bit of a look, Pump Fund right now is up 43%. Why? Partially because if they're buying back a few $1 million a day on a $2 billion asset, at that point even less, it just makes sense for the price to actually be higher. I said before, I see Pump Fund going to 0.008 without that much of a hassle. And we set that once it was at 0.004, right now almost at 0.006. I still stand by the idea that Pump should actually be trading higher. But of course, this season has been a lot of shenanigans, so you can't guarantee none of that. World Liberty Finance has been doing some interesting moves. Matter of fact, the Trumps got moved off the board, right? Because of some NASDAQ rules and the company behind it, 𝗷𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫. The thing is, I kept on saying, World Liberty Financial, I think, can do some crazy numbers, mostly because of the people involved. I don't necessarily think the project itself is the most amazing thing out there, right? Here, there was some bearish news that Eric Trump would be removed from the board of Alt5. Notice someone mentioning it. Was it fake news? Well, I've seen it everywhere, so I don't think it is. But the reason I still actually am holding it, partially is because it's like a really two-sided thing. On the one hand, you're completely against everything the Trumps put out because they're extractors. They take money from this space. They don't give much back. On the opposite side, I'm thinking they have set up a company that they can extract billions of dollars from over the next few months or years if they just keep it running. Why not make it a successful one? If you put all your efforts in, you're the president and family, everybody's looking at you for all this crypto stuff. You can make it work, right? So I'm balancing it out there by thinking, you know what? The probability of them actually going for something is a little bit higher than them just abandoning it and extracting like 1 billion when they could extract potentially tens of billions over some time. So I've gone with that notion. And so even though I still focus on my main coins, not on World Liberty Financial, I still have some purely for that reason. And I'm scrolling through here thinking, damn, there's a lot of coins we need to cover. Ethena, as I said a little bit earlier, I got myself a juicier Ethena position. Also over on Pionex again, but also partially just in normal coins. Why? Well, as I stated a while back, let me quickly see if I can find one of the Ethena positions here in bot form. I should have it somewhere. I made a lot of bots recently, so it's a little bit stuck somewhere. But anyway, I knew I made one. Here we go. So we got ourselves a nice little Ethena bot here as well. The core principle being, they also announced a massive raise. And just know from their entire ecosystem, them raising money right here has practically been the biggest raise any crypto project has ever had relative to market cap. So we got USDE listed on Binance, their stablecoin. Good for ENA, but they've also been doing some ENA buybacks. Well, most importantly, their buybacks right now are cool and all, but could be increased by some way crazier numbers. I'm talking hundreds of millions of dollars worth of additional buy pressure coming up here. And even though ENA does have some inflation, for the token, it still could be quite nice. MNT, fun fact, I actually sold a good chunk of MNT at the top a little bit earlier, but they kept on topping. I thought the top was like $1, let's say 37, something like that. All of a sudden now it's at 148. But it's on a tear since people realize it's like going for BNB, but for Bybit, and the chart is about to enter price discovery. Bybit, MNT Flywheel, personally I hate using the Flywheel world. I say it like this. MNT has been one of my most held tokens for a while. Not necessarily because I was most bullish on it, but because I said to myself, it's better than holding dollars, because I kind of see the same for BNB, for MNT. If you believe in the exchange, in a bull market, it'll do well. And so since it usually beats the dollar, right, by at least a little bit, and the last couple of months it really has, I thought it was worth holding, specifically because I use Bybit all the time anyway. But recently I've been getting out because the price kind of doubled over the past couple of weeks. So, why not? And then there's some coins here that I'm not really too excited about. One of them that is quite exciting is Hyperliquid. I told y'all before, one of my bigger holdings as well. I've got it in bot form, got it in long form. I think I've got it everywhere. Let me just quickly double confirm. So yeah, we have ourselves one Hype long here, only $100,000, which is definitely not too shabby. We also have ourselves somewhere in this list, we have ourselves a Hyperliquid bot. Here we go. We have ourselves a $50K Hyperliquid bot. Primary reason there being that Hyperliquid is expanding massively. And as I've stated 1,000 times before, I think a 3x Hyperliquid long is like one of the easiest ways to do it on crypto besides an Ethereum long, because first of all, they have crazy amounts of buybacks. And second of all, I think it's the most hyped up thing of this entire cycle from the, let's call it the side of crypto that knows what they're doing, right? They are betting heavily on Hyperliquid. And so I decided to follow that flow along. And next, if you're wondering what's happening today, I'd say one of the most interesting things that came out was PPI today. That's also why Bitcoin all of a sudden shot up like crazy, because the number, minus 0.1, was very much different than what was forecasted at plus 0.4. Tomorrow, we have ourselves the interest rate numbers coming out. Inflation numbers coming out and the European interest rate coming out. This actually is quite pivotal. Like these days, I told y'all, this is a very, very eventful week. Inflation rate numbers usually pump or at least move the markets, specifically because we're expecting to go from 2.7 to 2.8. If it's anything different than that, expect the market to do something crazy, just like we saw today on PPI. And then within a few days, we have ourselves the interest rate decision over on Wednesday of next week, so exactly 1 week from now. But it's getting close, right? And this, of course, will be pivotal because the question marks, will it be 0.25? Will it be 0.5? And is this really the moment where things start going quite heavily? Going with 3 rate cuts this year? Let's see what's going to happen, right, in that regard. All I know is everything is set for a raging, crazy market coming up. And I think also that's why the market today decided to pick up just a little bit. I find it odd to some extent that we're not continuing the crazy gain spectacle, because it sparks a question of what exactly is keeping us back? What exactly is that thing that's stopping Bitcoin from going on a crazy gaining spree right now and making the altcoins follow? Because obviously I am more interested in Ethereum right now. Bitcoin, I think, has seen its best glory days already. Right now it's time for ETH to shine, basically. But it does mark a good question of what could be that next catalyst. Well, theoretically speaking, the announcement of today was the catalyst we needed, because Bitcoin made itself a tiny move. Sure, it wasn't the greatest, but it was something to get the people back into an exciting territory. Let me just quickly show you here. If we take a look at this throughout the 12-hour mark, you can see slowly but surely we are building back up. So throughout the last few days, well, really, just the price action of today made it look different again. It made it look from mostly depressing to just slightly optimistic. In the grand scheme of things, it still looks down, sure, but we beat that previous top of a few days ago where we already got excited because that was the first higher high we were making, and right now we're continuing on with that trend. So the trend, theoretically speaking, has switched over. Now, any of these announcements coming out over the next day or next week could again have a similar sort of effect, where tomorrow, inflation numbers coming out, all of a sudden we see another good spike, and now we're changing from just a higher high with like a wick to a proper higher high and actually closing above it. And from there, we could scale pretty quickly. I mean, almost all the fundamentals really are set for another crazy run. All I just don't want to see is a good slashing session, meaning I don't want to see the prices all of a sudden cut by 10, 15% in a day, because I think right now the market is so fragile, and that's why I don't think we're at the top. If I'm asking around, everybody's saying that the market is done and over for. Since I'm seeing all that fragility, I'm seeing people be weak, I'm seeing people not excited, I kind of feel as if the market tanks 10, 15% right now, there will be some overwhelming negativity that's going to slash our prices another 10, 15, 20% more before we go for a crazy run. And I would kind of prefer to have another ripping session towards the upside before another 10 or 15% slash were to happen. But I guess either the numbers tomorrow or exactly in a week from now can actually make this happen, preferably good. But even if it's negative, again, my outlook for the next quarter is still very, very positive. Just wanted to get you guys a little update on all the news, all the coins that were coming out, all the news that's been around here. You know, there's some smaller things, you know, some newer coins coming up and some little tit-tats left and right. But to be honest, I think the coins I just covered, I think are most interesting for the week. And still in the near future, I'd say that Solana, Dogecoin, and really any treasury companies, TCOs is what they call it now, that are heavily investing are most interesting to watch out for, because if they're saying they're going to be buying billions of worth, why not just follow along? It's what I've been doing, and it's been some of the easiest money we've ever made in our lives. And that's the thing. Some people say, well, it's not because the coins are not pumping enough. It's either because you don't have enough money yet, which again is an issue of time, right? Given more time, had you been able to take these advantages over maybe a few year span or just time and time again, you could be in a better position. That's one. Or you're not using the smaller percentages to your to the proper effectiveness yet, meaning maybe no leverage, which is fine. Everybody go on preferences. But at the end of the day, it's mostly a skill issue, coming back to it. It's mostly a skill issue of either not having enough access to capital, which could be unlucky in life, but hey, we're not the same. Luck plays a factor in life, accept it. Or you're not taking advantage enough, which still comes back to not having enough access to capital, or not properly, even though you have the access to capital, utilizing it at the right time. What I mean with that is Doge, Solana, some of these coins, even ETH and BTC here, have been such easy plays. We've been screaming at the top of our lungs, and even XRP has been quite easy. All you had to do was just commit and go for it. The last couple of months, realistically. And people say, oh, but Dusty, XRP is down, or actually Bitcoin is down 10,000 from its high. Yeah, but it's up tens of thousands more from the lows of earlier, right? It's actually from 108 or 107, it's back to 113, massive. Ethereum went on a massive rally. I don't even need to cover it. Yes, it's down like 12% from its high, but it's down, it's up tremendously over the last few months. And same for XRP, it's down from its high, like 20% maybe. But it's up tremendously throughout the last couple of months, and that marks my point of if you just stayed consistent, and BNB is actually one of the best examples. It doesn't really have that much volatility. It's actually one of the most dumb coins ever. But take a look at it from let's see, a yearly perspective. Take a look at how it's gone from, for example, March all the way up to now. It's really not been volatile at all, but it was at $500. Matter of fact, $530. Slowly but surely, it just keeps climbing towards now a $900, soon probably $1,200. It just keeps slowly but surely going up. And that's why I said before, MNT, BNB, and some of those coins, I basically just have to partially get the rewards from over on them platforms, and also partially because they're slow, but in my opinion, almost certain high points as the market stays either the same or upwards. And fun fact, some of these exchange coins can even do well as the market goes downwards because, well, the exchanges have a lot of volatility at that point. They may do a lot of buybacks for the coin, or just people get more excited about the platform in times like that. To be honest, though, all I'm doing is just buying these freaking coins like there's no tomorrow. I do that every single day. If you want some automated strategies, how we're trading crypto, stuff like that, link is down below. 𝗕𝗃𝘀𝘀 is my main platform I'm trading on right now. If you want yourself a free 10K trade, check out 𝗬𝗃. A link for that is down below as well. Today, not much talk about the bots, not much talk about a specific coin, just altcoin news. Wanted to quickly get everything off my chest with regards to what's happening tomorrow and everything that's going on. And if you appreciated it, make sure you press the like button. That's about it.